The village of Eldoria was destroyed, and what used to be a happy place was now just a sad memory. The sun went down behind the smoky remains, casting long shadows over the ruins. Elara, the village healer, walked through the ashes, holding a broken crystal called the Heart of Dawn. Tears ran down her face, mixing with the dirt and the blood of the broken world. Her hands, dirty from the battle, shook as she held a bloody letter, her last message to the world. The wind carried her sad cries into the empty night, a desperate call for revenge. A peaceful life destroyed. In the quiet village of Eldoria, life was simple and full of small joy and shared moments. Elara, the healer, was known for fixing not just physical wounds, but also helping people with their feelings. Her life was connected to Orion, a blacksmith who was strong but also very kind. They were an inspiration to the whole community, like a light that didn't seem to be bothered by the challenges of life in Eldoria. But this peace was destroyed when the king's soldiers from a nearby village arrived like a dark cloud. Eldoria, located between the old forest and tall mountains, found itself in the path of a new conqueror. The king's soldiers came quickly and cruelly, showing no mercy. The village, once a place of peace, became a battleground. Elara's healing hands worked non-stop to help the injured, but the king's soldiers were very mean. They burned homes, stole from the village, and did terrible things. Elara's world was turned upside down. Her efforts to save lives always threatened by death and destruction. One night, the village elders gathered Elara and Orion and told them about the old prophecy. There was a relic, the Heart of Dawn, hidden deep in the magical forest. It was a crystal with the power to change destiny, and it was the village's last hope.
Dear Lara, our forefathers told us about the Heart of Dawn, a relic of great power, lies hidden deep within the enchanted forest. It is our last hope. You must find it, Lara. Only this can save us and help us fight back.
With the village in big trouble, and Orion telling her to stay safe, Elara made the tough decision to leave him behind and go into the forest alone to find the Heart of Dawn.
I must do this for my people, for my sweetheart Orion. You know I love you and would fight for you and the community. Let me be on my way already.
Challenges of the Enchanted Forests. The forest was a confusing place, full of shadows and magic, where reality turned into nightmares. Elara faced tough challenges that pushed her to the limits. Each challenge was a reflection of her deepest fear and regrets. The forest seemed alive, its spirit testing her strength. Elara saw illusion of her loved ones suffering, and her mind was tortured by vision of Orion's death and the village destruction. She had to face these illusions, fighting not just physical challenges, but also the emotional fears that tried to break her spirits. At one point, she was trapped in a maze of thorns, each path leading to more pain and despair. Her body was covered in scratches and bruises, and her clothes were torn. Yet, she didn't give up. With each step, she fought through the pain, driven by the hope of saving her people and reuniting with Orion. Finally, Elara reached the heart of dawn. The crystal was a bright light, its warmth a sharp contrast to the cold, dark forests. Elara held it close, feeling a small hope. She started her journey back, the crystal's light guiding her through the dangerous forest. The Heart of Darkness. Elara returned to Eldoria, her heart beating with hope. The Heart of Dawn seemed to fill the village with new energy. The villagers, inspired by its light, got ready for a big battle against the king's soldiers. Elara's arrival with the Heart of Dawn was a moment of relief, a rare light of hope during the chaos. With the Heart of Dawn, the villagers felt a wave of hope. They prepared for the big battle against the king's soldiers, their spirits lifted by the thought of winning. The battle was hard and bloody, but the Heart of Dawn shone brightly, pushing back the invaders and bringing a small peace. They won the battle. But the victory didn't last long. The king, angry at the village's bravery, captured the leaders and Orion. He told Elara to bring him the Heart of Dawn in exchange for their lives. The king's soldiers attacked even harder, pushing the village to the edge of collapse. The once bright hope of the Heart of Dawn now seemed covered by the growing darkness. Elara, torn between her duty and her love, agreed to the king's demands. She hoped that by giving up the Heart of Dawn, she could buy time for a rescue. She went to the king's fortress, her heart heavy with fear. The fortress was a scary place, full of sounds of suffering and the smell of death. The Fortress of Despair. When Elara arrived at the king's fortress, she saw a scene of terrible horror. Orion and the other captives were chained and beaten, their eyes empty with despair. The king was cruel. He teased Elara, using the captives as a part of his evil plan.
The brave healer returns, and you've brought my prize, but it won't be enough to save your people.
The king's soldiers, wanting to show their loyalty, hurt the captives even more. Elara's cries for mercy were ignored. Each moment was like a knife in her heart. Orion, despite his own pain, tried to confront Elara with his words.
Lara, you're here. Please do not lose hope. You did everything you could. Remember our love. It's what kept me strong.
His love shining through the darkness. His final sad look was a heartbreaking reminder of their love.